In the serene village of Nkukuma, nestled between rolling hills and lush green forests, lived a couple who were the epitome of happiness and prosperity. Afolabi and Amara were the pride of the village, their story one that many admired and aspired to emulate. They were always seen together, attending village festivals, participating in communal activities, and often helping the less fortunate in their community. Their smiles were as bright as the African sun, and their generosity knew no bounds. Amara, a woman of grace and elegance, came from a lineage of wealthy traders. Her parents had amassed a considerable fortune dealing in spices, fabrics, and other exotic goods. When they passed away, they left everything to Amara, who was their only child. Aware of the responsibilities that came with such wealth, she managed the inheritance with prudence and compassion, always ensuring to give back to her community. Afolabi, on the other hand, was born into a humble family. His father was a fisherman, and his mother sold vegetables in the village market. Despite their limited means, his parents instilled in him the values of hard work, integrity, and respect. Afolabi grew up with dreams of a better life, but he never had the resources to make those dreams a reality. When Afolabi and Amara met, it was love at first sight. Amara saw in Afolabi a man of great character and potential, while Afolabi saw in Amara a beacon of kindness and beauty. Their love blossomed quickly, and they soon got married. What the village didn't know, however, was that it was Amara's wealth that supported their seemingly affluent lifestyle. Afolabi had no idea about the extent of Amara's fortune. He simply assumed they were well off because of their combined efforts and his small business ventures. For years, Amara used her inheritance to sustain their lavish lifestyle. They built a beautiful home, complete with all the modern amenities, something rare in Nkukuma. They traveled, hosted grand parties, and wore the finest clothes. Afolabi's small business, which Amara secretly funded, was not profitable, but she never let him feel the burden of their expenses. She loved him deeply and wanted him to be happy. Afolabi, who enjoyed the luxuries that Amara's wealth afforded, began to adopt a more extravagant lifestyle. He was not content with just the comforts. He wanted the best of everything: the finest clothes, the most opulent parties, and the most expensive wine. He basked in the glory of their perceived success, becoming more complacent and less appreciative of the efforts that Amara put into maintaining their lifestyle. As time passed, the inheritance began to dwindle. Amara, blinded by love and the desire to maintain their image, did not notice the rapid depletion of her funds. She continued to spend extravagantly, and Afolabi's demands only grew. The reality of their financial situation hit hard when Amara realized that her inheritance was nearly gone. She tried to cut back on expenses, but it was too late. The reality of their financial situation hit hard. When Afolabi discovered the truth, he was furious. Instead of supporting his wife, who had sacrificed everything for their happiness, he blamed her for their predicament. The love that once bound them began to wither under the weight of resentment and anger. Afolabi's demeanor changed drastically. He became cold and distant, often lashing out at Amara. He started bringing other women into their home, humiliating her in front of the entire village. Amara, heartbroken and destitute, decided she could no longer endure the abuse. She left the marriage with nothing but the clothes on her back. Starting afresh was not easy for Amara. She had no money, no home, and no support. But she had resilience, intelligence, and a heart full of hope. She began by doing odd jobs, anything she could find to sustain herself. Slowly, she started a small business, selling handmade crafts and traditional fabrics. Her eye for quality and her fair prices soon earned her a loyal customer base. Meanwhile, Afolabi, now wealthy by virtue of Amara's former inheritance and his newfound freedom, continued his extravagant lifestyle. He remarried quickly, choosing a woman named Chinya, who was as fond of luxury as he was. Together, they threw lavish parties and spent money as if it would never run out. Chinya had an insatiable appetite for the finest things in life. She demanded the most expensive jewelry, the most luxurious clothes, and the grandest of parties. Afolabi, eager to please his new wife and maintain their extravagant lifestyle, indulged her every whim. His small business, never profitable to begin with, could not support their lifestyle. Within a few years, Afolabi found himself penniless, abandoned by Chinya, and shunned by the community. Afolabi's descent into poverty was swift and harsh. With Chinya gone, he had no one to support his lavish lifestyle. The villagers, who once admired him, now turned their backs on him. They could not forgive him for how he had treated Amara, a woman who had always been kind and generous to everyone. As Afolabi wandered the village streets, he saw the stark contrast between his current state and the life he once had. He remembered the laughter and joy that filled his home when he was with Amara. He recalled the sense of pride he felt when the villagers looked up to him. But those days were gone, replaced by a harsh reality that he could not escape. Afolabi tried to find work, but his reputation had preceded him. No one wanted to hire a man who had squandered his wife's inheritance and mistreated her so badly. He resorted to begging, hoping that someone would take pity on him. But the villagers, remembering his arrogance and cruelty, offered him little more than cold stares and harsh words. One day, as Afolabi sat by the village market, hoping for a scrap of food, he saw Amara. She was surrounded by a group of women, all chatting and laughing. Amara looked radiant, her business thriving and her spirit unbroken. Afolabi's heart ached with regret. He knew he had lost something truly precious, something he could never regain. Amara, on the other hand, continued to build her empire. Her business expanded beyond Nkukuma, reaching neighboring villages and even towns. She became a well-known figure in the region, respected for her business acumen and her generosity. She used her wealth to support local schools, healthcare facilities, and community projects. Despite her success, Amara never forgot her roots. She remained humble and grateful, always remembering the lessons she had learned from her parents and her own experiences. She knew that true wealth was not in material possessions, but in the strength of the human spirit and the kindness of the heart. Amara also found happiness in her personal life. She met a kind and compassionate man named Kofi, who respected and cherished her. Kofi had his own successful business, and together they built a life based on mutual respect and love. Amara knew that she had found a true partner, someone who valued her for who she was, not for her wealth. Years passed, and Afolabi's situation grew more desperate. He had lost everything: his wealth, his home, his dignity. In a final act of desperation, he decided to approach Amara once more. He knew it was a long shot, but he had nothing left to lose. Afolabi found Amara at her shop, surrounded by her employees and customers. He hesitated, feeling a wave of shame wash over him. But he gathered his courage and approached her. "Amara," he said softly, "I have come to ask for your forgiveness. I know I have wronged you in ways that can never be undone. I was blind to your love and generosity, and I let my greed and pride destroy everything we had. I am truly sorry." Amara looked at Afolabi, her expression unreadable. She listened to his words, feeling a mix of emotions: pity, sadness, but also a sense of closure. She knew that forgiving Afolabi was the right thing to do, but she also knew that she could never take him back. "Afolabi," she said gently, "I forgive you. But we cannot go back to what we once were. Too much has happened, and we are different people now. I wish you well, and I hope you find the strength to rebuild your life." Afolabi nodded, tears streaming down his face. He thanked Amara and left, knowing that he had lost her forever. But he also felt a sense of relief, knowing that he had finally made amends for his past mistakes. Amara continued to thrive, both in her business and in her personal life. She and Kofi built a loving home, filled with laughter and joy. They continued to give back to their community, helping those in need and making Nkukuma a better place for everyone. Afolabi, on the other hand, faced a long and difficult road to redemption. He struggled to find work and rebuild his life, but he never gave up. He knew that he had to make amends for his past mistakes and earn back the respect of the villagers. Slowly but surely, he began to find his way, doing odd jobs and helping out in the community. He learned the value of humility and hard work, and he started to rebuild his life, one step at a time. The villagers of Nkukuma learned valuable lessons from Afolabi and Amara's story. They saw firsthand the dangers of greed and pride, and the importance of treating others with respect and kindness. They also saw the strength of the human spirit, and how it is possible to rise from the ashes and build a better future. In the end, Amara's legacy was one of resilience, kindness, and success. She showed that even in the face of adversity, one could rise, rebuild, and shine brighter than ever before. Afolabi's tale, while cautionary, also showed the importance of humility and redemption. Together, their stories became a part of the rich tapestry of Nkukuma, inspiring generations to come.